positivepower21.org, where they play my... Hi, this is Angel Sessions, and when I'm in town, I listen to Jerry Royce live, positivepower21.org, where they play my favorite music.
Hey, this is Lester McLean, and you're listening to Jerry Royce Live. I'm a saxophonist, a singer, a songwriter, and I'm ready to rock.
You are listening to positivepower21.org with Jerry Royce.
What up? It's your boy Kano Kingston.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions.
Hey, this is Scott. Hi, I'm Teresa Powell.
Hi, Jerry. I'm Sandra Carter.
Hi, this is Phil Powers.
Hello, this is Teresa Bobby with Jerry Royce Live.
Hi, I'm Philip Byrne. I'm live on the Jerry Royce Show.
Hey, what it do? It's your boy Houston Saint.
Peace, this is Dahlia the poet, spoken word artist.
Hello, this is Ramon Marquis with Jerry Royce Live.
All right, everyone. You got Robin Lynn, and I'm keeping it live right now on Jerry Royce Live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? This is award-winning podcast with the greatest podcast on earth. Thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide on Internet Radio, where you get your positive on. So when it's all positive, it's all power. That's positive power. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Think you know how drugs get in those little brown bottles? Think again. Set in the green hills of western New Jersey, inside the gilded halls of power of a U.S. pharmaceutical company where decisions are worth billions of dollars and human lives worth less. Nicholas Harding, a young executive at Marshall Pharmaceutical, finds his career, family, and life in jeopardy. The Farmhouse, a suspense thriller novel by Bill Powers, published by Donna Inc. Publications, available at Amazon.com or DonnaInc.org. Go to Bill's webpage at www.author.BillPowers.com.
Are you looking for the next great read? A book filled with love, passion, betrayal, and intrigue. The award-winning novel, Season of Change, by Tamika Patrice Kane is sure to satisfy your literary sweet tooth. Check out this must-read book reviewers are calling uplifting and emotional. And exceptionally great read, deeply intense and thought-provoking. Order your copy today, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.com or at www.tamikapatrice.com.
Are you an author looking for promotional services or a reader looking for a great read at low prices? In this competitive world of books, Writing Royalty Promotions is dedicated to bringing authors and readers together to build a greater respect for literature through our various promotional services and online bookstore. So head over to WritingRoyaltyPromotions.com and check us out.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to PositivePower21.org. I am Jerry Royce Live, and today's book sponsor is going to be Darlene Rucker-Williams. So hold tight. We're going to play our presentation in a minute. 60 seconds.
What do you give to a person who has everything? Hi, I'm Darlene Rucker-Williams, and I am the owner of Stylish and Stellar Gifts by Dar. I get this question all of the time. At Stylish and Stellar Gifts by Dar, we specialize in customizing gifts for people and pets too. Our gifts are original and one of a kind. Not only do we deliver, we ship as well. We work according to your budget and your theme. We have gifts for all things, including baby showers, sports teams, get well, bridal, birthdays, pets, just because, and that's just to name a few. So let Stylish and Stellar Gifts by Dar take the worry out of your gift giving today and also for the holidays. Our website is www.stylishandstellar.com and our phone number is 443-682 5664.
You are now listening to an RBS production.
All right. That is Lester McLean. That's right. Tonight on the show, we got Lester McLean at www.lestermclean.com. His debut album. He had produced a Christmas LP this past December 2014. And we would have him come out and talk about that. But let's bring him out. Welcome to the show, Lester. How you feeling tonight?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man. I am good, man. Glad to have you on the show, man. And I apologize. I didn't get all your songs downloaded. The files were a little different from what we needed for this program. But we will make sure that everybody get a chance to hear all three of those tracks that were sent to us in the beginning of the show. So They have a little mini concert of Lester McLean. That's right. That's a good sound, man.
Thank you very much.
Man.
Appreciate
Love that sound. Now, I just want to know, how did God give you the ability to play the saxophone and sing at the same time? That's not fair.
Well, in fairness, Jerry, I don't actually do both at the same time. It's one or the other, you see. That's a joke.
I don't, man. That's still not fair.
Listen, first and foremost, I appreciate that God has been a big part of my life for a very long time. And from the very beginning, you know, I've been very fortunate, whether it's just because, you know, my parents immigrated from Guyana, they decided to come to Canada, they decided to come to Toronto, and I'm here, and I get access to the music programs, and anything I wanted to do, I could do. So the saxophone interested me, and I started playing saxophone, and I took to it, and I enjoyed it. And then with singing, much later, the same thing. So, yes.
Yeah, that is awesome. So we're going to give me your bio real quick. I just had to get that in real quick. But we just want to let people know that you started playing the saxophone at grade 7. You wanted to play another instrument. I think that's the alto. But you ended up playing another instrument. You were a little disappointed because you thought the alto was cooler.
That's true.
But nonetheless, at least you got a chance to play an instrument and helped you connect with jazz. Then you said it was a blessing in disguise because you ended up playing lead tenor for a few high school bands. And went on to study jazz for 3 years at York University. All right, man. Congratulations there.
Thank you.
Then I guess you developed your craft. You end up meeting someone named Andrew Craig on keyboards, The Color of Soul, a couple other gentlemen you got a chance to meet and play with. Then you started singing. In grade 12, you started singing with some friends in high school, music program. And then you ended up doing some school dances, private functions, and then you ended up joining up with a group called the Awful Dodger Jam Band, Taste and Stretch, every Wednesday for 5 years. Well, that's a long time, man. They commit 5 years every Wednesday. Oh, that's deep, man. Then you spent, 7 years doing jamming and a big influence on your musical evolution. You ended up playing, I think you joined another band in 97 as a saxophonist, which you left in 02 and became the lead singer. You hooked up with another band that eventually became, the Groove Yard?
That's Groove Yard,
Is that what the name of the Groove Yard?
Yes,
okay, and hopefully he's still around. All right, man, so what we're going to do, man, we're going to get the rest of it out of you. So the first question is, who is Lester McLean?
Okay. Well, I'm really sorry. The thing is, the first thing I got to say, and I apologize for this, Jerry, but it's actually McLean, McLean, so it's McLean. That's how I say it. So if you ask me who Lester McLean is, I don't know. But thank you for asking that question. You know, it's funny. It's a tough question to answer actually because of a lot of different things. I think just as a person, I want to be. I'm somebody that's consistent, somebody who is just honest and straightforward and down to earth, and soulful. And when I say soulful, not just musically, I mean have a mind and mind and body and spirit and heart. I put a lot of that into every day, and I put a lot of that into my music. So kind, honest, trustworthy. These are all things. Is this sorry, Jerry? Is this a dating site or?
No, this site, this Jerry Royce Live is actually Oh, okay, you know what it is. All right.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just listing all these characteristics myself. So, ladies,
but that's good, man. They will contact you though. If they like you, they will buy your album. That's the good thing about them.
That's good. That's good. You know, the funny thing I wanted to say as well, and I know that you asked that general question, but I listened to what you said about that bio. And I would say to you that for the most part, in all of these bands that I've played in, I am in touch with at least one person or all of the people that I played with.
Wow.
So you mentioned the Artful Dodger Jam Band, for example, and one of the principal players in that band was a guy by the name of Michael Vassos, a very talented guitarist and singer. He spent some time in Las Vegas playing, but he's back in Canada now and doing a lot of shows with classic albums live, Van Halen 1 and Beatles and stuff like that. But in any case, he's been back in Canada now for less than a year, and already we've done several shows together. So there's that. You mentioned The Color of Soul. Yes, Andrew Craig was one of the principal members of that band as well. But the gentleman that I worked with to produce my Christmas CD, which, by the way, is called Lester McLean, A Mostly A Cappella Christmas, his name is J.K., and he was the bass player in The Color of Soul. And I don't know. I'm sure that Kelly Lee, who by the way is the person that got us in touch, Kelly Lee of Artists United. Yeah. I'm sure she's told you about my brother Mark McLean, and Mark was the drummer in The Color of Soul, and we obviously as brothers we were very close, but we've been able to share a lot musically as well. So really between family, between good friends, and it's just music for me. It's been an opportunity to get to know people, and express myself, and just share the gifts of God, which is really important to me.
That's right, man. And you started at such an early age, man. Grade 7. I think I was telling a couple other artists that my children actually got involved with music pretty early too. Because I used to. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something that just was embedded in my mind was seeing Alicia Keys up there talking about save the music. So I'm like feeling guilty. I like want my son to play football and my daughter to do this and that. And I said, okay, let's get some instruments in their hands. So I had a friend of mine come around and actually teach them both how to play the drums. My daughter took guitar lesson, and she sings. And she ended up joining a magnet program, singing and touring and, participating in concerts, ended up dancing and everything. So I didn't feel so bad after that. And then seeing that you started at grade 7, man. So what made you, pick up an instrument? I mean, was it forced on you by your parents or a teacher, or you had no choice? You
know what? The great thing about school here, at least in Toronto, Ontario, is that it's part of the curriculum. So when I went to junior high in grade 7, you could take either band or strings. And I should point out that by this time I actually started playing guitar when I was 10, and I still play guitar. But really, formally, I mean, the saxophone was the first instrument I would say that I played in public in front of people, right? So, but I mean, so to be able to get into the junior high, and you have the mandatory. I mean, imagine that. You have the opportunity to do this. And I've always seen the saxophone, and I always loved it just because it looked cool, and I liked the sound. And you mentioned in your intro that I was disappointed that I didn't get to play alto, and that's very true. I wanted to play alto, which just was a smaller instrument, but they saddled me with the tenor, and in fact, I ended up loving to play the tenor, and even though I would say only really in the last couple of years, because I play soprano sax as well and alto. And for the funk band and for my trio, it's because I sing and play, it's best to have a smaller, less cumbersome instrument. So in fact, I play majority of the saxophone I play right now is alto, which is really funny. So it happened, but I just had to be patient. But in the meantime, as you said, the jazz instrument is the tenor sax. So
that's right. Saxophone is a cool instrument. I remember sitting out there in the pews at church, and I remember this young guy. He was on his college break, and he had just joined the band, and he had his little suitcase, popped that boy open, and had this beautiful, brass instrument, all shiny. Then he pucks his lips, licks his lips, and, oh, man, he tore it up, man. Man, that is the coolest instrument, man. So you missed the cool now, right?
Well, you know what? Let's put it this way. I remember it's funny you guys broadcast in the area you broadcast in, because I was on a school trip and we went down to Washington D.C. and I can't remember what the name of the school was there, but I was about 17, and by this time I'd been playing in the stage band for a couple of years in high school. But we went to another school in the D.C. area, and we set up, and the stage band played, and I had this big sax solo. So you stand up, and as the band stops, and I play this sax break, and I played this thing, and the whole place went nuts, freaking out about me playing. And I like to say, I'd love to find out what that date was, because that's the day that I became hooked. Not only are playing the saxophone, but being an entertainer. So it actually happened on the States.
Yeah, you're right, because you was on tour.
Well, yeah, just a little thing, this little high school exchange thing. But it was very fun.
That's all it takes. But sometimes that's all it takes, man. It's funny you talk about Canada, man. I actually had an opportunity to travel over there in my early 20s with my then girlfriend, my baby mama.
Okay.
And we went over to Quebec City, and I thought that was the coolest, cleanest city I've ever seen in my life. But
Quebec
it was cold.
City is a beautiful, beautiful city. There's a lot of rich Canadian heritage there. Quebec is a beautiful province in general, and we still have our problems up here with French and English in terms of not necessarily hostility, but certainly, there was a compromise made a long time ago, and sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes it's tough to manage that. But me personally, I love it. My favorite, I'm a big hockey fan, so my favorite team is the Montreal Canadiens, and I'm in Quebec all the time, at least once a year to watch that team and enjoy the culture there. So it's beautiful.
And one of the biggest things I remember, man, was the hotels connected to an underground mall, because it was so cold above ground. There's still something pretty popular there, walking through the malls underground.
There's all sorts of pathways in Toronto for sure. I can't speak for Montreal, or Quebec City, because I don't spend that much time there. But I can tell you in Toronto, there's a couple different pathways and things like connected to the subway system and stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. All right. We're talking to Lester McLean. You said McLean? McLean, right? McLean. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We're gonna listen to one of his pieces again, and hold tight, everybody, for another episode of Book Buzz.
Are you looking for the next great read? A book filled with love, passion, betrayal, and intrigue. The award-winning novel, Season of Change, by Tamika Patrice Kane, is sure to satisfy your literary sweet tooth. Check out this must-read book reviewers are calling uplifting and emotional. And exceptionally great read, deeply intense and thought-provoking. Order your copy today. Available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.com or at www.tamikapatrice.com.
Are you an author looking for promotional services or a reader looking for a great read at low prices? In this competitive world of books, Writing Royalty Promotions is dedicated to bringing authors and readers together to build a greater respect for literature through our various promotional services and online bookstore. So head over to WritingRoyaltyPromotions.com and check us out.
Hi, this is your girl Cotton, the softest voice in poetry. And when I'm online, I listen to Jerry Royce live worldwide on positivepower21.org. You should be listening to Jerry Royce live.
That's right. And right now we're listening to Lester McLean. That's right, the saxophonist, the singer, the man from Canada, doing it all, doing it up, and set it all on fire in D.C. and made his debut and tour right here in the States. All right, man. Oh, man, that is awesome, brother. We appreciate it, man. Now, we're going to get a little bit into what made you decide to do this Christmas LP? I wish we had some of the music, man. Well, we'll make that happen, though, with Kelly, you and Kelly, to make sure people get a chance to hear that. But tell us a little bit about, the development of that Christmas
I'd love to. Thank you. Thank you for asking me. This started way back in 2013. I had been one of these people that wrote Christmas cards to friends and whatnot. And it just struck me that being a musician, I could probably do a little better than that. And I decided to write something, and so I recorded something at my home and sent it out. And it was a little song that I had written called "Don't Make Me Go to the Mall." And that song was very popular among my friends and the people I distributed it to. So I decided that I was going to do it every year. And fast forwarding to about 2008, I had about 6 or 7 songs. So at that point, I decided that if it would be nice to put them together in some kind of a compilation, because the tradition is write a new song every year and send it out. Mm-hmm. So by time December 2013 came along, I felt I was ready, and I had worked with J.K., who I mentioned earlier in the show. I worked with him on 2 songs for Christmas. And I thought he would be the great choice to continue to not only polish up some of the older recordings, but do some new material. So I spoke to him in March of 2014, and he was very excited. And basically, we worked from March until October of 2014 to put the record together, and there it is. So it's mostly original material. And the thing that I'm most proud of, Jerry, is I've always wanted to do an a cappella record. One of my favorite singers of all time is an a cappella artist, and I'm sure you've heard of Bobby McFerrin. Bobby, Don't Worry, Be Happy is probably the most famous of his songs, but there is so much more going on with Bobby McFerrin. So when I got the opportunity to do this, I really wanted to dig in, and I love singing. So even though I recorded vocal records in 2005, 2010, 2011, this one really, I think, is sort of a coming out party only all the way in 2014. So,
awesome. Now, is that available, through iTunes or Amazon?
That is available through iTunes and through Amazon.com. And once again, it's called Lester McLean, a mostly a cappella Christmas. And if I could plug my other record. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Is that one of those? The other record that I did, and that came out in 2011, but still very, very available, is called Lester McLean 4321, and that is available on Amazon.com as well.
You said that's called Lester McLean?
Lester McLean 4321.
21. Okay, I typed it right. All right. Good for you, man. Now, I was going to say, is that LP for Christmas, is that one of those pieces where now, do they have to download the whole LP, or they can, like...
No, they can download separate tracks, no problem. I mean, personally, I feel the whole record is extremely downloadable. But listen, go through and pick what you like. I mean, that's the best thing for the consumer right now, is they can say, they don't have to get the whole record. They can go in and say, oh man, track 6 is great. Oh, track 8's my jam. Well, that's the kind of thing that you can do.
That's right. That's right. Now, I was going to ask you about that, your opinion on that. Now, I think a big known act, real popular female performer, I think her last LP, she decided not to do it that way. You had to buy the whole thing. You get to download the whole. And how you feel about that? You get to a point in your life where you just say, "Hey, I'm not selling the singles. You got to buy the whole thing." How you feel about that?
You know what? I don't listen. Obviously, as an artist, for this last record, I really felt like it was important to present a collection of work. It's not only because of the production values that we were trying to incorporate it, but it really was an evolution, because basically, as I said, we're talking about songs written between 2003 and 2014. That's pretty cool, in my mind anyway. So I I can't see myself not presenting that, even though I understand why people might want to say this is a complete work and this is what we want you to buy, but I think it's too late for that. I think, clearly what's happened with the industry is that people have the opportunity to pick and pay. It's going to happen in television, and it's been happening with music for a long time. What I will say, though, is if I think that what has to happen, especially in Canada, because Canada has a huge problem with music piracy and downloading illegally. But what I would say is that the general population has to be made to understand that if you love an artist, support them. I mean, it's not enough to say you love them and go to your friend's house and get them to burn a CD so you can rip off the songs. Pay the 99 cents or the $1.29 and support your artist, not only with your support as a fan, but as a consumer. That's really important.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you think now the iTunes or Apple and some of the other guys like Amazon really got the word out about the piracy, and people really respect it now that they have these digital devices that they spend so much money on? They don't really have a problem downloading collectible songs, such as yours, and respect the industry. So you think the wishes have been granted?
I'm not sure about that. You know what? I'm going to reserve comment because I really don't know what Apple and Amazon have done. I would say though that it is in their best interest to get it out there that, hey, listen, this is, if you want music and you want to support artists, this is where you come. Because if you do it this way, then we will make sure that your artist gets taken care of. Your favorite band, whether it's Danica Kane or myself, they'll get looked after. That's how they make their living. And I think that really it can't be just the artists doing that. It has to be other consumers as well. And quite frankly, I think the larger artists, whether it's U2 or Beyonce or any of these people, they sort of have to do that as well to help the little people, because they weren't famous and big famous artists all at once all the time, So I think that's very important.
Let me tell you one of the things that used to drive me up the wall. You used to spend really good money on these CDs, and of course, you had to have a CD for your car. You had to have one for your home. It was like you had to have a carry case to carry your collectibles around. That thing could get pretty big. But the biggest thing that drove me crazy besides that was you look at these music videos and you see these guys like Cash Money, those guys spending money, your hard-earned money on Lamborghini. They couldn't have one Lamborghini. They have like every color, or all of them in red, and they wrecking them, and then they showing this lavish lifestyle, and some of them we just struggling in our little townhouses, driving our little car that we're not even sure is going to start in the morning. And I think that was like the thing that was frustrating consumers, man. At least for me. I used to enjoy the videos in the beginning when they had, when BET was BET, but then it got to a point where it was glamorizing the industry so bad. It's like these guys is just like they throwing it in our face, man. So, they're going to pirate now,
Well, that's a very good point that you make. And I had not considered that there was just a backlash on the part of fans and consumers saying, listen, if you have money to throw around and cars to throw around, and the cars to show off in your videos, you obviously don't need us to support your music. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, hey, I am trying to
that's
buy duplicate copies. Yeah, you're thinking about you got the. I said, I really loved, these artists, the Cash Money guys, and I said, okay, now I gotta go buy another CD for my home because I get tired of carrying the case around. And then that's when guys started saying, wait a minute, I'm just gonna burn it on my CD, on my computer, and have a couple extra copies and I give them to my friends.
That's
so actually the computer industry kind of made it easy for it to happen. So
absolutely.
For it.
And you know what? I think unfortunately as well at the time when you think about that whole Napster thing back in the late '90s, I think unfortunately the music industry was extremely arrogant when it came to music online and didn't respond. They should have dropped the price of CDs and made it more affordable for people and made people go to HMV or whatever store and get the CD, but they didn't do that.
That's right.
So
they did not do that. All right.
Yeah.
I know that's what, and that was funny. I just had that conversation today with a good friend of mine when we was talking about a lot of the performers and musicians coming on board as independents now. They like it like that. Then are you signed to a label?
I am not.
Okay, so you operating it as an indie. So whenever you
I am,
something,
and you know what? I think that there's a certain freedom with it. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Outside of the promotional vehicle, which is obviously huge, I'm really not sure what record companies can provide with our artists with. I'm really not sure because it's just so tough right now, And again, part of the issue is records aren't selling. But the other thing that I think when it comes to being an independent artist is I'd much rather, do what I've been doing, write the songs I want to write, have the art that I want to have, and just do my thing. When I play my record or I look at it, I know top to bottom I've made every decision, and I'm comfortable with that. Unfortunately with record companies, and there's tons of stories, of great records that were, unfortunately not released because the record company didn't like something or wanted to change something, and the artist dug their feet in it and said, no, this is what we want to present. So I don't have that issue, which is really good.
That's right. Now, Lester, how are you using social media, video, audio to market yourself?
You know what? I have to say, the reason that Kelly Lee and I have been working together is she's been handling that for me. And really, between Twitter and Facebook and now Instagram, just to get the word out and say, hey, listen, I'm here as an artist. Here's what I'm doing. Here's where I'm performing. It's very important. And I would say that... And I'm not that big on social media, but it's important as an artist. I don't think you could be anybody of any consequence as an artist this day and age and not have some kind of presence on social media. And you know what? It's a great opportunity, and I love, and again, I'm YouTube as well. I love YouTube. I think it's a great thing, and I have lots of videos there as well.
All right, we got to check you out, man, because my wife and I, we love sitting back in the den, man, and just go YouTube crazy, man.
Do it.
YouTube crazy. But see, the bad thing was we didn't know about guys like Lester, Lester and Erica and Angel Sessions. We don't have a clue about you guys because nobody's marketing you to our. Well, I know you guys now, but before I became Jerry Royce Live, my wife and I didn't know who you guys were. We were just looking for Rihanna and Beyonce, and we starting to get tired of looking at this stuff. We started looking at Janet Jackson and Mary J. Blige, and we tired of them. We want to see some new faces, some new sound. And here you are, right?
Well, that's and that's a function of what's happened to the industry. The industry, somewhere between boy bands and girl bands in the mid to late 90s, I think they sort of forgot about going out there and finding new artists. Now, don't get me wrong, there's lots of new artists still that are out there. I mean, I think John Legend in particular, I really like what he's doing and how he's doing it. But he is not typical. Unfortunately, what is typical is Beyonce and Rihanna and some of the hip hop artists, none of which come to my mind right now. But I think again, unfortunately, the music has become very homogenous, and it's basically all about one specific style of song. I mean, hip hop's the number one music in the world, and that's great, and I'm really happy. But at the same time, if you think about mainstream hip hop, and I'm maybe going out on a limb here, but there's not a lot that separates themselves. I mean, it sounds almost like the same artist could be responsible for all these different sounds.
You're right.
And that's a little frustrating.
It is. You're right, because I tell you, man, we miss Maxwell, Sade, and DeAndre, and all those people,
and Anita
man,
Baker, and Ronald Richie,
Erica.
right?
like, where are they? You know, now I heard people went crazy at the Lionel Richie and the Stevie Wonder concert. They just couldn't get enough. They were like, please don't stop. And of course, Stevie not gonna stop. He gonna give you about 40 songs.
Stevie, I wasn't here. I was in Vancouver, the performing actually, but Stevie came to Toronto in late November of 2014 and played for 3 hours.
Yeah.
The only reason he stopped is because they had some kind of a union issue in the venue, and if he went over, they had to go over to. But Stevie would have played another hour, I'm sure of it.
Well, he came here, man, and did the same thing.
Absolutely, and it's so again, we're talking, and that's the